Welcome back to another reading. How are you guys doing? We are on a winning streak as always. I hope you guys are on a winning streak as well. Remember, to be a winner doesn't mean reaping the rewards of a winner, but just being consistent as a winner should be, right? We're all winners in some sort of way. We just gotta find that in us to be consistent, because remember, that's the key to success. Consistency. The more you do something, the more anybody does something. Like, for an example, if whatever service that you wish to receive from anybody, you will want that person to be consistent. Like a barber or a hairdresser, you will want to know, or a tattoo artist, you will want to know those people have been consistently making progress, has consistently done a lot of clients under the belt before they touch you, right? That's just everybody, or before they do any activity that you ask them to do. So that's just a little word of advice: consistency. Before we start our reading, let's just go ahead. Before we start anything, before we even touch anything on this altar, let's just go ahead and get our chakras aligned. We're gonna do a singing bill, so we're just gonna go ahead and tap this 3 times to realign our chakras, and then make sure we're all on the same vibration, the same energies, right? Just cleanse your mind real quick for me, real quick. Alright, so I asked that you guys just clear your mind, you know what I mean? Confirmation. I asked that you guys clear your mind from anything positive or negative. Just clear it, right? Just clear your mind. Let's just go ahead and go with the flow of this reading, okay? Let's see what spirit wants you to know for this video, right? We have a manifestation deck, so we're gonna see what is it that we can manifest into our lives. But before we begin any of our decks, I always like to pull a general word of the day, just in case this is like an encouraging word for you guys to keep in the back of your heads as you leave this video. You can take with you, right? So we're gonna go ahead. We're just gonna pull from it. Spirit, what is a message you have for us? And the message is willingness. So it's WILLINGNESS. Again, this is willingness. Having the willingness to do certain things, open up to new opportunities. Make sure people have the willingness around you to assist us. Like, okay, here's the thing. If people are requesting from you to do certain things for them, they also have to be willing to do certain things for you. It has to be a going back and forth. Unless that person is not in a condition to be able to help you. You know what I'm saying? Not saying that you have to help to receive help, but I want you guys to, unless this person is like, you know, a family, like, okay, here's the thing. If you guys have like grandparents and stuff, obviously they can't help you out too, right? At the same time, having the willingness to help them, you already know that they have showed you love within your lifetime, and you know that, you know, you're showing them to love. Even if you're like a healthcare, you're showing them love because you know that they're seeking that. You have people in this world, unfortunately, that seek help but wouldn't, and they are capable of assisting you in need, but they never did that. You know what I'm saying? They never, like, I've had people in my life that want help now, but when I was in need and they was able to help, they kind of shine the light on, you know what I'm saying? They kind of turn the cheek on me, or turn the back, or whatever you want to call it. They just turn their back in a way where they expect the same. If now I'm in the same situation as they was, they expect me to kind of, how can I put this? Kind of sacrifice my wants and needs for them. You know what I mean? And that's just where people have to learn that tough love sometimes. People have to learn that, wait a minute, I don't have to sacrifice myself for you, because you not sacrificing yourself for me, that's what made me a stronger person. It made me have to get out there and, you know, handle my business. So now I'm going to show you the same tough love that you showed me. If you say that you did it out of the love and the kindness of your heart, then now I'm going to do the same thing, and I'm not going to feed into too much of your situation. I'll help you out now and then, but I'm not going to fully take on your responsibilities. You know what I'm saying? And that's important, because you're giving that same reciprocal energy back, so that they may be in a position that you are now, because they've learned the tough love. But if you entertain that, they didn't learn nothing. Just like they didn't entertain you, you had to go out there and make it. So when you don't entertain them, they now have to go out there and make it. Doesn't mean that you just turn a blind eye to them straight up struggling. I mean, yeah, you can assist if you feel the need to, and God gives you the extra blessings to do so. But as far as like taking on the responsibilities, consider it tough love. If I always say, helping somebody, you always have to focus on yourself first. because you can't help anybody swim if you're drowning. You know what I mean? You're never going to be able to save anybody if you're drowning yourself. So when you have the actual resources, like if you have to have an actual life jacket, you can assist. Or if you can have them climb on your shoulders, you can assist. But as far as sacrificing, I don't want you guys to feel bad if you can't do certain things for certain people. You know what I mean? Because there's going to be times where we as Devine, we always feel like ashamed because we can't help people. But then it's like, you don't want to put it to work, because sometimes people request things from you that might take up a lot of your time. And then now when it takes up a lot of your time, now it's like you're going on the bus. Now it's like you're not. For an example, let's say this person actually do something and it's taking up time, where time that you could have been spending doing something else that could have been, bettering your household. If this person doesn't stay in your household and they don't see the results of what's going on, suppose they don't appreciate what you do. You know what I'm saying? So you just gotta look at all these characteristics, but also have the willingness to learn these things. I want you guys to have the willingness to adapt, have the willingness to be open-minded. I know I went off topic, but I just wanted to really stress that because I had a personal situation like that. I'm a very kind-hearted person, but when I was in need, there was really, if people was helping me, it was like an issue of them helping me. And then when I got on my feet, it's like all of a sudden tables turn, and then they want the help that you know what I mean? They want the help that I was looking for, but they don't want to give it to me back then. But now all of a sudden, they're cool, and you know what I mean? So I'm just letting you guys know from a personal experience. I always believe that. I was talking to an older person, and you always want to take advice. Not saying you have to listen to me or nothing like that, but you always should take advice from people that's going through certain things. Like, I'm not going to tell you guys about relationship advice if I wasn't married. You know what I mean? I'm married, so I can give a little description of how my relationship goes, and I could tell you guys a little tips, you know what I mean? But that's besides this situation. I just feel like I had to share that with you guys, because willingness could be a huge topic. It could be very generalized to a lot of these things. Like, I had to have the willingness to get up in the morning to do readings, to, you know what I'm saying, to go about my day productively, to do anything that I have to do to be productive. And I want you guys to have that same energy, that same motive, that same ambition as well, right? So willingness is your message of the day. I want you guys to keep that in the back of your head as we continue. All right, so now let's start this reading. Spirit, I just come to you and ask that you allow me to resonate with the people and share knowledge that I may have gained personally, but also reflect on in a general description as well. Thank you, Spirit. All right, guys, we are now going to start our reading. Just put your general minds on. Think general about the topics. It could be past, present, or future. Remember, the goal of these readings is to gain information that could possibly help you in your everyday life, right? If not specifically to expose or things like that, I'm not really trying to do that with my specific videos. You know, my specific channel, I'm just trying to give information because I've grown up, I've always done that. Now, I do shine light on negativity. I do that. But I'm always grown up to seek different things within different situations. So that's what I want you guys to take from my videos. I want you guys to, anything that I'm speaking, if it reaches you in any kind of way, I want you to take that and use that in your everyday life in order to be productive, and then in order to succeed, as much success as possible from whatever it is that you are trying to accomplish, right? Hopefully it's something positive, right? But, you know, that's for other things. But yeah, let's go ahead and start this reading, right? Let's just go ahead and clear the energy real quick. Deep breath in, deep breath out, and let's get it going. All right, Spirit, what you got for us? This is actually my first deck that I actually had. Spirit, I'm always believing in manifestation too. That's the crazy part. What message you got? I feel like this is the best one. Like, who don't want to manifest their dreams? Take a reality check. And speaking of dreams, taking a reality check is very severe when you have dreams. I've had like a lot of systems. Like, I don't know if you guys see the videos now. You guys see the mic. I used to do music. I don't do music anymore. I'm more passionate about just speaking my mind and doing videos. So and that's another thing. When you're doing things, you want to take a reality check in a lot of things you do. I was like, oh, I'm going to do music. I'm going to do this. I'm going to do that. Now I have a set schedule that makes sense, that's appropriate for my lifestyle. Because a lot of times we have these big dreams that we're going to do this, we're going to do that. We don't have 24 hours in a day. So you putting your time into something that you really ain't gonna be passionate about. Like for me, I don't really seek getting on a stage and signing a record deal and all of that. I'm not saying those things are bad, but just me personally, I don't seek that attention. I don't really care for that. You know what I mean? That's just me personally. Not saying it's a bad thing, but that's just me. So it's like, why continue something if I know the results are gonna come back and I'm not gonna be happy with the results? So that's why I just kind of put that aside and focus more on just speaking. Because at the end of the day, when I was doing music, before I was doing tarot, I was speaking my mind into the mic and I was telling a story. So now I can tell a story virtually through online and still receive the feedback that I wish to receive, which is, great job, or hey, it really helped me. That's one of my biggest things, that it resonates with you and you're motivated, right? Like I said, take a reality check is just basically having a dream, having a vision, having a daily routine, but making it make appropriate. Like if you're kids and you know what I'm saying, obviously you're probably not gonna be trying to go crazy on a video or trying to, you want to make it appropriate for you. Like, okay, my baby is asleep, so let me go ahead and do my video. I'm not saying this is videos, but whatever it is that you enjoy doing. If you enjoy playing video games, okay, let me play video games while my kids are asleep, so then when they wake up, you know what I'm saying, I can handle business, or things like that. It's just like tweaking your dreams to fit appropriate reality, right? Because reality, you have dreams, but you also have responsibilities you gotta maintain. And if you don't maintain these responsibilities, they're just gonna keep piling. You ever see like dishes? You go out there, you make a dish, you put it in the sink, you don't handle the responsibility, but you got to eat off the plate. What happens is that dish is just gonna pile up. The trash, it just piles up. Those type of things are called your responsibilities. And if you don't maintain your responsibilities, electricity bill keeps going up. It's just gonna keep going up regardless. And then it's gonna be harder and harder and harder to maintain. So it's better to maintain it while you can. I recommend whenever you have things that you would like to do, put them in order. Like legit, write it down. I know people say like with this tarot community and spiritual, oh, I don't really like planning. Let me tell you something. Planning is a great thing. It keeps the mind busy. It keeps you knowing what's your next move, and then it prepares you to get ready. Like when I do my readings, I know for a fact what time I'm doing not specifically the time, but I know when I get up in the morning, I'm doing a reading, right? I might go do some training, and I might, you know what I'm saying? I have a legitimate schedule for me that helps me feel better about myself, that helps me get through the day, that helps me face any challenges. And I encourage you guys to do the same. You have dreams, but you have to remember that those dreams are still in this lifetime, where this lifetime has a lot of different things that's going to be thrown at you. Responsibilities, reality things that really hit you. So we have to form out a time plan that can, depending on your situation and depending on, whether you're a single mother, married man, or whatever the case is, you want to put a time schedule so that you can have the best outcome. Now, also be mindful that if you, like, for an example, if you do YouTube and you're trying to do 10 videos a day or whatever, I was doing that at one point, but I stopped because the energy you put into something is also going to show. For an example, you can do 2 videos if you're a YouTuber, or you can, like I said, you can do 2 hours of any craft and still get it done within a nice longevity of time. You want to take, let's say, a week or 2 weeks, as long as you're making a progress, that's all that matters. It doesn't have to be every day. Big progress is coming in. Sometimes there's a slow season and a fast season, and you want to have that balance between the workflow. Because once you have that workflow of balance, and you have that balance of workflow where you're doing it appropriate amount of times, an hour here, 2 hours here, you don't get overdrawn. You know what I'm saying? You don't get overdrained with things. You don't feel tired of it because you keep doing it. You're doing it for an extended amount of time. You still get to enjoy your life and work on your craft at the same time with balance, and that helps. So that's the reality check that I would that I'm just advising for you guys. Write all your dreams down, write your plans down, and make it like an appropriate time. Like, like, okay, if I spend an hour on this, I want to be her. You can have goals and dreams, but just make sure that if you don't reach this goal, that you don't get discouraged from continuing. Because just because you don't reach this goal in this amount of time that you plan for, it doesn't mean you're not going to reach it the next day. You got to remember how life works. That's how the universe likes to see. Sometimes they would test you to see, okay, you said you was going to make $100 or whatever. Let's just use money as an example. By April 1st. April 1st comes around, you only made $50. All right, but guess what? Spirit will put in the place where, are you going to quit? Because let's say you was looking for cans to sell to this place, right? This is an example. You was looking for cans to sell to this factory. You didn't end up making out your quote of $100 by April 1st. You only made $50. But Say the money was your savings, right? You didn't end up saving $100. Now, Spirit will test you. April 1st comes around, you don't make money. I mean, you don't make enough money. You can either quit and stop and get discouraged, or you can continue the next day, and then Spirit might just grant you that extra $50 to put in your savings. You might find on the grind. You might find easy money. So what I'm trying to say is, yes, you have dreams, but also you want to take a reality check so that you can be able to structurally sort out your dreams, so you're not thinking about it too much. Like me, when I work out, I like to have a routine, like actual how much push up this, because then when I finish the workout, I'm not gotta worry about, you don't have to do this, but it's not for me. It's like, I don't like to think I want to get big, or I want to be this type of style. I don't want to think that way. I just want to think, I done the workout, I done the work, I move on to my next activity, and not thinking about it, because then that's called free of mind. When you're not thinking about, when you're not forced to think about certain things, you're free, and we all like freedom, right? We're gonna go ahead and move on. I know I probably talked a lot with this card, but I don't know. Like a lot of times, like I know this channel is specifically like for me speaking my mind, so that's why I be speaking that way. But take a reality check on your dreams, and it will help you out a lot. Like, it's not saying to discourage you, but it's just saying to put in perspective where it can motivate you, to put in perspective where you can actually build a structural form. Where, like I said, I used to try to do 10 videos a day. Now I only do about 3. But even though I only put 3 videos up, within them times, I'm actually working, I'm actually learning, I'm actually reading, I'm actually training, I'm actually doing actual legit things. So when I come back on the platform, y'all get new activities, new ideas, new speaking. Like I'm coming to you guys more cleaner, more direct, and more efficient, right? That's the goal. Spirit, what other message I got for us regarding our manifestation? So the next one we have is think it through. And this is like planning, right? You always want to think things through. Think 2 years down the line, 3 years down the line, whatever you're doing, whatever it is that you're getting yourself involved in, ask yourself, where would I be in the next 2 years? If it's something negative, if it's something bad, if it's something that the legal system would arrest you for, I would assume that you would want to stop, because in 2 years' time, you're not going to be... you're probably not going to be able to do that thing no more. You know what I'm saying? Also, if it's something, it could be something positive. Like, I was working a job that was a therapist, and once I talked to a manager, I said, like, I'm not willing to go to school for this stuff, because I didn't get it from school. I just got it from being a person of volunteering and things like that. So, because I wasn't able to go to wasn't willing, and that's its word, willing. You gotta look at what you're willing to do and willing not to do. Because I wasn't willing to go to school, I had to find a different avenue for it. Not saying that I don't like school, but it's like, if whatever you do, sometimes what you're doing is you just do it for the general out of your heart. Sometimes you don't do it on a conscious level to say, this is what I'm thinking about doing. You know what I mean? A lot of times I was doing things out of my heart. Like, I switched jobs from a grocery store to therapist because I believed in helping people more. But when you become in a certain field, it doesn't really matter on helping people no more. It's more about you now having to grow in this industry. Just naturally, you're gonna grow in it. So now it's like your time is at stake. So it's like, all right, as much as I want to help people, am I willing? Because if you're not, see, here's the thing. Even though you wanted to do something that you wanted to do out of your heart, once you get involved in that field and spend the time, you are now putting the time and the energy into it, and then your mind has to think about certain things. But the problem was, I was thinking about the things that I wanted to do as music or, YouTube, and then what that affected my work. Because now I'm not focused on my work life, because I was gravitated to it by my heart. I wasn't gravitated by my mind. I didn't think that I wanted to be a therapist. I just ended up following my heart to help people. But you gotta not be selfish sometimes, you know what I mean? And I had to kind of, even though I kind of lost out, you know what I'm saying, on that. See, and that's another thing. I even talked to him, because I was like, I'm not going to continue this for the money. Like, that's not my thing. I didn't get where I was chasing the rewards. I just did it for the purpose of what I wanted to for. So even though some would say that I gave up a good paycheck or whatever, I stepped away from my personal reasons, and now I feel a lot better. I'm a lot happier. And I always say, if you're doing a job, it's always it's way better to do the job right and actually want to do the job than to not do it all. I would rather somebody not build my house if you're gonna think about if what's on your mind is a pool party later on tonight and you're not actually thinking about building your house. What's gonna happen is they're gonna end up messing up with these screws and messing up with the planning because they're not focusing on building that house. If you get what I'm trying to say, versus somebody that wants to actually do it, they're gonna focus on building that house. I would rather somebody just not build me a house at all because I'm not gonna live in something that's not been focused on, that's not been properly structured. You know what I'm saying? So think it through, plan it through, see where your plans are. You know, think about something that you're willing to do 2 years down the line, and if whatever you're doing, you're willing to do it for 2 years down the line, then keep going. You know what I mean? But if not, I would rather you sacrifice a little to gain a lot in the future than not sacrifice at all and to lose a lot. Because a lot of times with jobs, if you lose patience or the manager or whatever sees that you're losing track, they could fire you. And let me tell you something. In society, whenever you work a job, it's way better that you resign where you see things not going the way that you plan it to go than if you get fired. Because once you get fired, nobody cares about where you work at. They care about that you was insufficient in doing the job. That's what fired means. You was incapable of completing the task at hand. When you decide to resign, you have made a personal choice. See what I'm saying? So politically, that's what I tell you guys to do. Resign from any career that you started with. It could be anything. It doesn't. A lot of people have this thing where they feel like working a restaurant is not a career. It is. Anything that you put your mind to is considered a career when you think long term. That's a career. It's a lifelong thing. Focus on something that you wish to become lifelong, and ask yourself, hey, you know what I'm saying? Are you gonna get the benefits? And it's just many ways to do it. But that's one of the best things that I can say. Think it through, plan it out, and see what happens. Right? If it's meant to be, it's meant to be, right? What the master got for us? Sometimes the dreams that you have initially is not the dreams that you... And I never thought last year that I was going to be doing this, but hey, I'm enjoying it. I found my passion, and now we're going to continue on doing it. Find a balance. I found that balance. Like I was telling you guys at the beginning of the video, I found that balance with these videos because as you guys know, it's easy to set your phone up. The back end stuff is hard. This was something to put up. If you guys go back on my videos, I had so many situations where I've not known how to, like, I'm gonna give you an example. Just last week, my laptop, which is a Mac, or not a Mac, I don't think it's a Mac, it's an Air Mac, it's an Apple Pair, and it's like $1,200. I bought this like 2 years ago. My peoples got it from, my nana got it from me when I was doing music. It's my grandma, she got it from me when I was doing music, and helped me get this mic and stuff. So, you know, to think that it was like losing space, I'm like getting upset because I'm like, this is a $1,200 laptop. I'm paying. They was like taking $1 away from me for like some gigabytes or whatever, and I'm like, it's coming off my card, and you know, I'm like, you know, you get irritated because you get upset because you're saying the laptop is supposed to have a lot of space, but what was going on is So I was using this app, which I use still now for recording purposes, GarageBand. I use it for recording purposes as far as these videos because I don't like sound. Like my camera is a little bit far away, and the sound, like I don't know if you guys know how sound works, but it's invisible and it's rays that come through. Sometimes my phone that I have would come off of one side, so I decided to record on my laptop. Now, in the process of me first starting to record on my laptop, it was giving me troubles because when I used to record songs with GarageBand, I don't know if you guys have it, but on GarageBand, they save like 4 of them on the app itself. And then after that, any song must get like stored in files. So I would end up looking back at my files and I'll see all my, I said, why is it going? So I must have clicked open file or some situation on GarageBand. End up seeing all the ill music and I was doing. Now I can go back and I can delete all the music that I don't want on the phone, because I used to do like producing as well for other people as well. So, but I stopped all that because like I said, the reward that I'm gonna be getting is not gonna be for me. I don't seek that. I want to be I just want to be a speaker, right? That's all I want to be. So now, granted, you just can't speak to people. You have to learn things too. Like I have to study. You know what I'm saying? I have to study, I have to go away, like not go away, but like leave from the camera to go and work out, or I have to do these things to be motivated, because how can I motivate you if I'm not motivated myself, right? There's no way I'm gonna be able to tell you guys to remain positive and I'm not being a positive individual. So that's why I have to study myself and develop myself so that I can help you guys develop yourselves, right? And that's the end goal. That's simple as it is. Now, finding a balance, that's what I'm coming here to tell you guys. Throughout all of that situation I just described, basically I'm just saying that it took a lot of work to get her. It took a lot of wanting to do 10 videos. Once I find my end goal is just to motivate, is to inspire, it's nothing more, nothing less. It's not about going viral. It's not about none of that. It's just about having an audience, doing my thing. And then, of course, if YouTube became monetized, I could pay my bills and things like that. Of course, right? So now when it comes down to the bottom line, I was thinking, I'm going to do 10 videos, this, that. And it was draining me. You know what I mean? Not only was it draining me, but I wasn't able to get other things done, which how can I be a voice if I'm not putting in the work behind closed doors? I need to come to you guys with facts, dedication, ambition, knowledge. That's the whole point of you listening to me, because you're probably looking to see what can I learn from this person. Like, we all learn from each other, each one teach one. But that's the point of it, you know what I'm saying? So when I started to develop, like, okay, I got my mic, like y'all see it, mic set up, laptop set up. This, like I said, this mic explains for, like, I live by the airport, so any planes, I can still talk while the plane is communicating. And this is all about skills that I've learned in the past. I've learned to handle equipment because I used to do music. So this is the process of it as well. You will learn new skills. A lot of skills that you've learned from the past will help you in everyday life. It might not help right now, but it will help in the future. Like, I wasn't using the mic before, but I've decided to use it when we was doing some spring cleaning. Decided to use it, and now here we are. Balance, very important. It helps you to be able to do things for 20 years. Once you have that balance, that structural balance between work life and home life, and you got that, time to play, the time to work. There's these type of things you need to start incorporating in your life, or you need to maintain you incorporating in your life if you're doing so already. Because that's going to be the thing that's going to be able to take you a long way. You know what I mean? While everybody else is getting drained, it's like a marathon. Think of it like a marathon, right? And life is like you're running. People, they start off sprinting, trying to get ahead, and then they get tired. Their body goes, oh man, I'm tired, they go to sleep, right? Somebody else starts off, regular. They just start off, and then they just take the time, and then what happens is, in the end, the true winner will be the person that took his time. Now, when you get to the last little bit, you can sprint if you choose to, you know what I'm saying? Last 100 yards, you can sprint if you choose to, but the overall goal is to take your time, and then you can seek, a lot more. You have better chances of survival skills when you take your time with life, right? Okay. See what else we got here for you guys. Spirit, what other message you got for us? So the next one we have is unleash your kindest self. I talked about this in the beginning of the video. It's okay to want to help and assist and things like that. This is where you want to really develop your skills. Your kindest self is just it's your interaction with others, right? Respectful. I like to do this when I go places. Good afternoon, everybody. If like I'm walking to the grocery store, how you doing? I just speak to people, because in the end of the day, as much as the society has changed where everybody's, miserable, it seems to be miserable, everybody's not really chasing the dreams, not wanting to take risk anymore, you know what I'm saying? And in a lifetime like this, you feel like everybody's miserable, nobody wants to speak to each other, nobody wants to be respectful, people's always, crimes, you broadcast, people seem like they talk more about the negative than the actual positive that's going on in the world. And that's why it's important to release your kind of self. Everybody it's like okay, the planet, right? If everybody just talks about how somebody else should pick up the plastic bag that's on the beach, nobody's going to pick up the plastic bags on the beach. That's like if an accident happens and everybody's like, call the ambulance, and that person that yelled call the ambulance could have called the ambulance. You see what I'm saying? So it's like, it starts with you. It starts with us. We have to say, look, we're going to be kind. We're going to do things from our kindest heart. And hopefully, you got to remember, kids are coming up. Kids are watching us. So hopefully we could be that one role model in that person's life, or that one role model in that grocery store that spoke to that person. They made them feel a little bit better. Some people might not be appreciative of you talking to them, but at least you know when you're part that, hey, I'm put the energy out there. The energy that I want to receive, I put it out there, and that's the whole thing. You want to receive positive energy. A lot of people, you see a lot of people all the time. They would put out negative there, and then they'd be mad. They'd be like, why? I just, you know what I'm saying? I just put, you know what I'm saying? They'd be like, oh, why I'm not receiving love? Like, cause you're putting hate into the world. You know what I'm saying? It's the energy that you put out. But at least if you know that I put the kindest self out, and you receive hate, you're like, well, Lord, I done all I can, and that's all He wants you to do. That's all the spirits want you to do. The divine energy, they want you to just try. There was a quote from like I don't know who it's from specifically, but it was like I'm not mad at you if you don't. I'm not mad at you if you fail. Everybody fails. But I'm upset if you don't try. You know what I mean? And that is where it is the bottom line of being your kindest self. You gotta just try. Like I said, doesn't necessarily mean sacrificing yourself for other people. But it's a matter of, and especially if they're not your household and these are the people that when you was in trouble, they didn't help you, you gotta be smart about it. But it comes on to a little high and by and being respectful. Now, if he was being disrespectful to you, I can't tell you not to match the energy, right? But as far as like you taking it there first, you don't have to do that. You can be the smartest person, because remember, they're probably seeking for you to do that. You don't want to fall into the devil's trap. Now, there's nothing wrong with going against the devil, but don't fall in his trap. If the person is sending little shots and little things just for you to respond, nah. But if they're trying to threaten you and like physically come at you, then do your thing. But if they're just like with that, for an example, they'll tell your mom, your dad, or your somebody close to you something, so that person can come back and tell you, just so you can go to them and respond to them about it, when you could have just been like, whatever, haters gonna hate, or it's like you could look at it like, I'm an interesting subject to talk about. People don't talk about people that they don't wish, that they don't see as a conversation. People only talk about people that they see as a conversation, like, this will be an interesting thing to talk about. You see what I'm saying? So you must be interesting to some people if they're talking about you, but regardless, release your kindest self, right? Spirit, what other message I got for us? Attune to the divine. This what actually come into place with that. When you're tuning things, you ever see when you tune like the radio, or you're tuning the speaker, or you're tuning like how you get the you're cooking and you would tune your fire to the appropriate level. Like say you're cooking eggs and then the eggs are done, you tune the fire off, or you put it on low heat. These are the type of things that you need to put into place with your lifestyle. If your lifestyle isn't appropriate to where you wish to seek positivity out of, then you need to switch some things up. You know what I mean? And this could be in different levels. It can be in different levels. I don't care if it's you having to give up something. You know what I'm saying? If you need to do that to fit whatever image you're trying to, wherever you're trying to go in life, if you need to just wake up a little earlier, if you need to go a little, sleep a little later to accomplish whatever you need to accomplish, then you're tuning that energy in. As far as the divine goes, divine energy is just, you walk in the light. You need to, like I said, be respectful. You know what I'm saying? Just, it is not even about being too nice or whatever. It's just about, hi, what's up, da-da-da-da, good afternoon. You know what I'm saying? Just put that positive energy out there. You may receive negativity, or people might not appreciate it, but let me tell you something. It's a boomerang effect. Whatever you throw will come back. So if they give you negativity, negativity is only going to return to them. You give positivity, positivity is only going to gonna come to you. And don't be surprised if you say good afternoon and somebody says, man, F you, and somebody else in the line says, hold on, da 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 da. No, that person just went after them and you didn't even have to do anything. You see what I'm trying to say? So don't be surprised, because university is a boomerang effect. And don't be worried about people that talk negative even after you speak positive, because that's what occurs. Sometimes those things happen. But Attune to Devine, if you want to be the light, walk in the light, you need to start changing the way that you live, tuning it up. I'm not saying you gotta be a full-on preacher at church, but if you feel personally like, oh, I could definitely stop sleeping around, I could definitely find me one girl. You see what I'm saying? Like, just something like that. If this comes out for you, and if you feel like there's something you're doing that could tune it just a little bit more to the light, I ask you to do so, right? Relationships, I don't know if it's the food you eat, I don't know, whatever it is that could help you walk more in the light, help you be more motivated, more spiritual, you know what I'm saying? Nothing wrong with having a Snicker bar now and then, but if you're having 30 and 40 of them a day, and if that's making you drainy, and that's making you agitated, and now you just feel miserable and upset with your life because you feel overweight, then you need to change it around a little bit, you know what I'm saying? Replace that with some salary or something. I'm not a health critic, I'm not trying to tell you how to live your life, but you can do things to walk in the light a little bit better, right? That's the overall goal of this channel, to motivate. Spirit, what other messages do you have for us? Let's see. Next we have is cool your emotions. A lot of times people do things to get us upset. A lot of times we might need to just walk away. And I encourage you guys, if you're in a relationship, please walk away. For my masculines out there, do not. I don't care. There's memes going around talking about hating women. Don't do that. You're not making yourself any more of a man putting your hands on a feminine. I'm telling you right now, this is my mission. I would suggest, because here's the thing. If you are threatened by somebody, right? Say somebody, because it's just like this huge contradiction of this thing, and I need to speak my mind on it. You have people that would say, well, the woman threatened me, my life was in danger, so I hit her. Whenever you're scared of somebody in that much of a way, whenever you have fear put on you, typically, naturally, you run, right? Naturally, you don't chase down somebody that you're fearing. So when you hit somebody, you no longer become fearing of them. It becomes a battle. You've now put yourself on that same pedestal as them. You just lowered your vibration. You see what I'm saying? That's not about fighting, but I'm just speaking on masculines in relationships. It's better you just walk away. I don't care if you gotta run away or whatever. You know what I'm saying? Because worst case scenario, the female's got a gun. You ain't running nowhere and you ain't fighting her. So at that point, it's just life or death. But when it comes on to man hitting on women and feeling like, cause a woman slapped me, you're a man. You know what I'm saying? You better take that. You know what I'm saying? Because if the woman was so much stronger than you and so much, like you say, you're masculine, you're strong. A lot of these men are weak-minded anyway. So I'm gonna keep it real. Like, these men be weak-minded, man. Unfortunately, I don't know if they didn't have a father in life or whatever, but that's no excuse for these. And then you have women telling men that they should or whatever. Like, come on, man. Like, I don't care what you say, bro. That's not appropriate. I don't know what world we're living in now where men feel like they get comfortable. That's the problem. It's an excuse making. It's like if somebody don't want to go in the gym and train, and they make up these excuses to say, oh, well, I heard gymnasts, I heard working in the gym destroys your brain cells or something like that, right? It's just like the man nowadays is starting to say, well, if a woman hits me because I feel my ego is crushed, I could say, well, she hit me first, and that's an excuse to hit women. You know what I'm saying? No. Now, cool your emotions. If you want to cool your emotions, walk away. Now, in certain situations, if a man and a man versus man, and a woman versus woman, I can't tell you guys not to hold your ground. You got to hold your ground. But what I can say is there's certain situations that don't call for extra BS. Like if you're in a relationship and you got your headphones in. Sometimes I had this situation where I had my headphones in and You know what I'm saying? Maybe my wife's calling me, she don't hear me. If that leads to any altercation, you could walk away. You don't have to engage with it. You know what I mean? You know you're right, or y'all both have your own opinions, but you know your part. You walk away from it. Because I promise you, walking away is so much better than going at it with your girl. You know what I'm saying? Because that ain't going to do nothing. Like, what you going to do, fight her? Like, what you see as a threat? If you see her as a threat, then you shouldn't be with her. Simple. You know what I'm saying? But that ain't your girl if you see her as a threat. So I'm saying, walk away. My women, if a man is trying to do you like that, leave that relationship, because that's a toxic individual and that's a karmic. You don't want that. Divine, man, we know who we are. We ain't tolerating that. And for you feminine individuals out there, feminine males, masculine females, that this whole thing of we're trying to trade energies or whatever, let me tell you guys, at the end of the day, it ain't even gotta be that way. You know, just stick with what you feel like. Get with people that you feel they're comfortable with and move on. But if in certain situations you don't have to raise or no, a lot of people, here's the thing, here's the contradiction. I've seen videos where people were talk about people, they would get, the person they're talking about would get mad, come back and say, I'll slap them, and then now they're like, oh bro, you ain't gotta take it there. No. Stop talking about peace. Don't start nothing and then expect that person to come back to you, oh, nice and nice. No. If when it comes on to cool your emotions, it doesn't mean that you're thinking logically in a way that in a situation that somebody has caused. Cool your emotions is just something happens that was not planned. If it's not a direct threat, like if it's a masculine or female and the masculine knows that he's stronger, he can walk away. Right? Typically, the man in the relationship should walk away anyway, so I'm not even going to say that the female should walk away. The man should already have walked away. It's not that serious. No violence should be taking place anyway. But, as I said, to cool your emotions. Other ways as well. Take some time. It's just basically taking your time to meditate, to be to yourself, and to think things through. And to really just give you guys a break. Also, if you're at work, like, this doesn't have to be a relationship. You could be at work. Take 2 minutes, go in the bathroom. If a coworker says something and you know for a fact this coworker ain't got nothing to do with your job. This coworker says something, go to the bathroom. You know what I'm saying? If they didn't say nothing that's going to threaten your life, go to the bathroom. And you didn't start it, go to the bathroom. You feel me? Wash your face, put yourself back in that mind frame, and go back out there and just ignore that person. Or talk to somebody. There's plenty of ways that you can do to cool you down, to get rid of that negative emotions that wanted to fight and wanted to, especially if you didn't cause it. Now, if you caused it, then that's a contradiction if I tell you to do something. So I'm not going to tell you to cool your emotions after you caused trouble. But if you didn't cause it and it was just a flirty moment, it's just temporary. You know what I'm saying? There's nothing that was built up. There's nothing, no resentment should be held. It's a misunderstanding. Let's move on. You feel me? But yeah, I don't want to spend too much time on that, but yeah. We're going to go ahead and got 2 more cards to go over. I be talking, but what I'm talking about, I mean, I use them on a regular. Like, I'm not telling y'all nothing that's just going to be like, I ain't telling you nothing that ain't, here's the thing. Y'all stick with it. Y'all go see this channel grow massively. Because what I'm telling you guys is real life. Like, it's basic knowledge, but people take so much basic knowledge and they share it, but they don't apply it themselves. And you notice that because they're always, like, it's like they be speaking good knowledge, but they don't apply it. And then it's like, next time you see them, they be speaking some weird stuff. Like, I'm gonna have people like that will tell me some real stuff and I'll listen. And then next time I see them, they're talking some negative. And I'm like, I thought you was just talking positive, because they don't live by what they stand by. See, that's the problem right there. So they end up in situations because they don't take their own advice. They just, sometimes they say it because it sounds cool, it sounds good, but we ain't that over here, so you ain't gonna worry about that. But I'm speaking, I really use this, you know what I'm saying? And it shows, like, this is the result. This is the result. Like, I'm came so far. If you guys look at my last videos, y'all will see that I'm came so far with everything. And I will continue to go farther, as will you, right? Just stick along with the videos. Let your fears dissolve. This is like related to what I was saying with the bathroom situation as far as being an employee. When your emotions and your fears and all of that is like tied in a way. So typically your emotions would, consider your fears. You feel some type of way, so that's why your emotions show that way. Let's say you have um, a fear of getting an altercation with somebody, or getting the results of what's gonna happen after that. Letting your fears dissolve is doing things that's going to benefit you, right? Um, let's say for an example, let's say, how can I put this? Letting your fears dissolve. So if I put it in my perspective, I have a fear, right? That I one day, right? Because when growing up, I was always like a little smaller person now, right? Skinny, puny, whatever. So I had this fear that I would be on the ground and a guy would be on top of me and just beating me up, and I can't do nothing about it. I couldn't take him off me, nothing. That was my fear growing up. So I started training. The fear is long gone. The fear is dissolved because I don't have to worry about that, because I incorporated an activity into my life. If you have a fear of your job, whatever, letting you go, save. The savings isn't for to flex money, isn't for to spend. Savings is specifically for the fear of losing your job and not having no more income coming into your pocket. Once you save up for something, and you have that, let's say for an example, as an example, let's say you lose your job, right? Well, let's say, I don't want to put this on you guys, I take that back. Let's say this guy named Billy, this imaginary person now named Billy, lost his job today. And God forbid is a real person. Let's say this person lost his job. It's going to take Billy maybe 2 months to get a new job. So that means without income, he is 2 months without income. Let's say this person makes $30K a year. Let's say he gets paid. No, let's say he makes $12K a year. Let's make easy math for it, right? Because I ain't trying to confuse nobody. $12K a year. It's gonna take him 2 months to get a new job, right? That's gonna make another $12K a year. Now within 2 months he would need to have, of course, $2,000, right? But he lost his job. He has no savings. He has now $0 in his bank account. He is actually in debt of $2,000 because he still has to pay rent and all of that. I know, of course, $2,000 for 2 months ain't no way. I don't know who's paying that little in rent, but regardless of the fact, we're just talking about the numbers. So he now has $2,000 in debt that he owes to somebody for rent and groceries and all of that. Had he would have had a savings account of a year savings of his job pay of $12K, which I don't know if he was to put aside, if he had to say, even if he had to save, for 3 years to accumulate that $12K, guess what? He now has $12,000 in his bank account after saving for 3 years. So now because this person named Billy, let's say Billy now, right? He gets a new job and now he decides to save for 3 years. Now he has $12K. So if the next time if a job, God forbid, ever lets Billy go again, Billy now has $12K of savings in his bank account, which means that he would never be in debt for a whole year. He has enough money to pay his bills for a whole year. And within a year of him searching for a job, he is damn near guaranteed to get that job within the next 2-3 months or within that year. So I just showed it. I let you guys know, because when you have fears in life, the best things you could do is utilize your resources and use actions to take place to dissolve them fears, get rid of them. Certain actions you can actually put in place to get rid of those fears that you have, right? Okay, got one more card to go, guys. All right, Spirit, what is our last message for this manifestation? Okay, so the last one we have is forgive. I know this sounds like a lot. I know a lot of us, we're going through a lot and we're like, I'm not forgiving that person for that. Forgiving is not forgiving the person. Forgiving is forgiving it for your own sake, so that you can get rid of that. You know what I'm saying? You don't want the baggage. You know how them army guys be having the burdens on their back? You don't want burdens on your back. You want to feel free. I promise you, if you ever met somebody with a heavy backpack going to school, and the minute they walk with that backpack, let's say they have to walk a mile or whatever to school, the minute they run track or they walk around the track and they don't have the backpack, they feel so much lighter. Because they ain't got to walk like, if you ever been in school and you see that person with that heavy backpack and they put it on, they put it under the seat, they just feel so much better. That's how you want to feel. You don't want to feel having a burden. You don't want to carry his hate, this resentful for this person. This person's, let me tell you something. If you don't like a person, 9 times you're not going to be around the person anyway. So let's say you escape from this individual. You're going, they're not in your life no more. What is the purpose of, I don't see the concept of people continuously reminding themselves of an individual. The individuals do me wrong, I'm trying my best. I'm gonna always remember that. For next time, if I bump into that person, I'm always gonna remind myself, like, yeah, that person ain't that, but I'll keep it in the back of my head, but I'm not gonna like continue to like talk about this individual in a way where I keep bringing the name up, or you know what I'm saying, they keep becoming a part of my conversations. I'm not gonna do that. I might speak about it here and there, or the idea of a person, so that I know when another individual tries that same idea that person tried, I know off rip, like, yo, you ain't trying that. But as far as like holding that grudge in my heart to think about it every day and just, oh, I hate that person, I'm not doing that, because I'm forgive. Oh yeah, cool, and I ain't forgetting, but I'm forgive. So next time I see you is, hey, what's up? Ain't no resentful to be like, oh, I'm not speaking to you. No, because I'm not about to hold myself slavery to that situation. Hey, what's up? Oh, you're free? No, I'm not free. Yeah, it goes that way when you start asking to hang out now. Well, yeah, we ain't hanging out. But at the same time, I'm not about to hold that grudge to you. You know what I'm saying? So forgiving is just for yourself. Forgiving is just for you to be able to move on with your life and not have that burden or that heavy backpack on your back, that resentful in your heart, where you can easily say hi and bye. Because let me tell you something. The enemy hates it when you move on. They would rather you fight with them, argue with them, show resentment, show that you hate them. They love that. They hate when you can move on with your life peacefully, happy, like, hey, yeah, check you later, I'm good. Nah, I'm good, fam, I'm good this week. They hate that. That's why them enemies, like, if you see people that continue to diss the peoples or whatever, they love that. They love that attention. They're like, yeah, they get all happy and smiling. But when the person's like, I ain't worrying about that, man, I'll check you later, cool. The enemy, oh, man, they hate that, because they're like, that's my whole point, to make him upset. So if I did all of that to make him upset, and he just left it, and now they're in a position where they're not getting no attention from you. You moved on, so you're not thinking about them. You're no longer in they are no longer in your category or your conversation, so they're just meaningless at that point. They not only can they not hang around you and gain them benefits from you, but they're not even existent in your life anymore. Like, it is what it is. I don't care if it's mama, daddy, father, uncle, sister, whoever. Cousin, brother, any person, friend, relationship, these people are no longer in your conversation, no longer existing in your life, and then that's when they just become meaningless, right? And that's the whole point. You just want to move on. You're suspected to move on and to continue on with your life, right? Just gonna fix these words. Second, give me 2 seconds, guys. Just gotta fix them. You know, I gotta get that thumbnail that y'all saw. Gotta get that thumbnail. I try to have my thumbnails be a part of my readings. Like I said, I'm on this structural thing. I'm doing things my way. I'm doing things differently. And I feel like what is better than doing things my way? You know what I'm saying? It's my channel. I'm gonna do things my way and in a way that I love, because I like to go back and look at my videos and know that, hey, I'm proud of that video, right? Thank you guys so much for tuning in on this reading. I really appreciate it. Just gonna slide these across her like this. I try to just, you know what I'm saying, set myself up. And I encourage you guys to do the same as well. You know, set yourself up for the next activity. Of course, with this, I'm gonna take a picture and all that, so I'm just gonna set it up beforehand while you guys are on here. All right, again, thank you guys so much for tuning in on this reading. Till next time, I will see you guys on the next reading.